All right, so Mulan. It is the story of a young Chinese girl. Most people probably already know it if you've seen the 1998, correct? 1998 animated film, story of a young Chinese girl who takes her father's place in the war. It is based on a Chinese folktale, which I've never read the folktale myself. This 2020 film supposedly is supposed to be very more closer in theme to the folktale itself rather than the animated film was. And I can't really remember the animated film all that much. I don't remember it as vividly as something like Lion King or Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast. Like, I don't remember it as vividly as I do the other Disney animated films, especially coming out during that time in the 90s. I don't
that
really
second golden age of Disney.
Yeah. I don't really remember it as much. But I do know in this film there's no musical scenes in it. There's none of that. There's no singing in it. So if you have to worry about that, don't. They don't try to recreate any of those scenes. The Eddie Murphy character is not in this.
Yeah, there's no Mushu.
That's one of the criticisms that a lot of people have. It's like there's no Mushu, there's no songs. It's just doing its own thing, which is one of the things I actually like about this. Yeah,
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
It's an actual retelling or remake rather than just a shot-to-shot adaptation or recreation.
Yes, you're doing something different with a beloved animated movie, which you're never gonna top it.
Yeah.
Just saying that right now. You're not gonna top what you did before.
Yeah, no. If history has taught you anything, between The Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast, you're not topping the original cartoons. It just is what it is. So you might as well try something different with it.
Yeah. You might as well try something different, because something like Lion King, it's just like shot for shot. Like you can line up the animated film with the supposedly live action film, that's not live action, but whatever. But supposedly, and then it's the same thing. They even take the same script and do the same script, which I don't know how the script writers for the animated films don't get credit, because it's literally the same script. So I don't even know how they don't get credit for it. I'm like, how are you not going to get credit when it's the same dialogue?
It's like when you're in college and you're looking at Spark Notes when you're writing a paper.
Just copy and paste, but rearrange the sentences here and there.
Yeah, try to not make it look obvious, But so I don't know how they don't get credit for that. But in this one, so in Mulan, I can't better compare. I can't really do it like how I did the other ones because I don't have that much of a memory of the animated one. But in this one, a lot of the mystical elements, like I said, from the magical, like from having Eddie Murphy Wushu, the talking dragon, from having a lot of those elements are not in here. They do have a character who is a witch who does, shapeshift and change and things like that. And it's all about, a lot of this movie is all about her harnessing her powerful chi. And she has this kind of, that kind of special energy that she can kind of master and control that makes her really amazing, at what she does. Because fighting and everything. And you have a lot of legendary, Asian actors in this. Donny Yen, Jet Li is in this. Good to see Jet Li, because there was that time when Jet Li was looking really haggard, man. He was looking really old, and there was that photo that came where he was just straight bald, and I'm like, damn, what the hell happened to Jet Li? That's my hero. That's Jet Li. What happened? Jesus, but then he came out and said, he reassured people about his health and everything. Said no, I'm okay. I got something going on. He has a type of illness that causes a lot of weight loss and dehydration. Because Jet Li's not that old. He's only like in his 50s. Like, but you know, you would think like he was like in his 70s or 80s. It's like he's not that old.
Hey, doing a lot of action of those martial arts, those take a physical toll on you.
Yeah, and you know, like when he was in his prime, back in the day, like when he did Lethal Weapon, and they had to like keep filming the scenes because he was literally too fast for the camera to catch him doing his movements, like like stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, he's been in the business a long time, legend, and it's just like it was just great to see him. Donny Yen, he has some very cool moments of him doing some very Donny Yen things that we all know him for doing. Overall, I think a lot of the humor in it is generic. I think when she finally goes to the army and she takes her father's place and she's training. You have like three characters, for instance, who are like three stooges, right? They're all bumbling over each other, they're slapping each other, all this other stuff. And a lot of that's kind of generic kind of stuff, It kind of, the humor feels kind of more animated, than what the movie itself is presenting. That would fit more like in an animated setting. I think a lot of the actors themselves, for instance, like the main lead, she's supposedly supposed to be the worst actress in China, supposedly. Like I remember reading that for an article for this for this movie when it's coming up, like, cause she's a model and a lot of people saying like she supposedly is like one of the worst actresses in China. She doesn't really, I don't think, deliver a lot of great emotions in this.
I think that as well, but I also think a lot of it is because the dialogue in this entire movie is in English, and this may be her first time using English regularly. Because that happens a lot in Asian cultures. Like a lot of people learning English for the first time, they're more focused on trying to get the words out instead of emoting with it.
Yeah, I think
that was a criticism of Jet Li when he was starting to come over to America, and also with Donny Yen.
Yeah, you're more focused on trying to get the words out rather than actually emoting and focus on like your face and everything like that. You're just trying to think hard, like, okay, how do I pronounce these words again? Hold on, let me think. Let me think really hard. How do I pronounce these words again?
Especially if you're coming from a East Asian language, it's like Chinese or Japanese. It's hard to translate that to English.
Yeah.
Okay. And the actress who plays Mulan is Liu Yifei, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Liu Yifei.
Yifei. Okay.
Yeah, from the same hometown as my girlfriend, actually, Wuhan, China.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. And so like I said, I didn't think she emoted all that well, and even the other actors she meets, part of the army, didn't really think they did all that well of a job. I thought they were kind of bland, kind of generic. Like when they're sitting around trying to do the whole camaraderie scenes of them building a relationship with, her fellow soldiers, didn't really think that worked all that well. I thought that was kind of bland and fell flat. The villain is nothing to the villain, bland, flat villain.
He's just mustache twirly evil for the sake of being evil.
Pretty much. I mean, there's no dimension to him. He shows up angry, yelling. Okay, got your idea.
His dad died, guys. Come on.
Yeah, remember the rule, show, don't tell?
His dad died.
Yeah, I mean, he has like a basic motivation, the Emperor killed my father, so I want revenge on the Emperor and, come back and take over. Okay, that's fine. Even the character who plays, the person who plays the witch in it, I even thought she was kind of not all that really interesting to watch. Like, you could have maybe even played that up.
You sure she wasn't interesting to watch? Because I found a lot of interesting things about it.
I felt that too. I felt like they're taking the villain of Mulan and turning it into the classic, hey, the villain is just a reflection of our protagonist.
Yeah.
But I feel like there wasn't enough development from her.
Oh, I just thought she was hot. My bad.
Yeah. Also, yes.
I wasn't taking it from an artistic.
Also, yes.
I felt like she was wasted to some degree in terms of her character, but we could get into that later.
Yeah. I mean, Nick, you can. You want to say anything? You can go ahead.
Yes, this is finally Disney doing something different with these live-action remakes. They're not telling the same story beat for beat or shot for shot. They're getting the basics of it more or less the same, but there are very obvious callbacks to the original animated movie, and every time they did one of those, it pulled me out of the movie. Like, there are bits from the score that are adaptations of the music. Like, the main theme of this is Reflections. And there's, like, hints of honor to us all at the beginning of the movie when they're meeting the matchmaker. And there's lines that are lifted from pieces of music. Like, one of the scenes where they're trying to build camaraderie and they're bringing up a girl worth fighting for. They're bringing lines from that. They even sneak make a man out of you in the dialogue.
We're going to make men out of every single one of you.
Yes.
Which just pulled me out of it completely.
Yeah, they do that, yeah.
I felt like Leonardo in that meme where he's pointing at the screen. Like, he said it. He said the thing.
And I don't know how deep we can get into spoilers, but there was one thing that just pulled me out completely.
You give your final thoughts on it and a rating, and then we'll go into spoilers. So, Chase, you want to give your overall final thoughts, and then give your rating.
My overall final thoughts. I see it allegedly. It's not really worth $30. I give it maybe 6 out of 10 because it's not terrible. I like it in theory more so than I do the actual movie.
Okay.
But we can get into that.
What were your
stuff.
biggest likes and dislikes, pros and cons of the film?
My biggest pro, of course, is that the fact that they're trying to do something different with it. I do love kung fu war movies, and this kind of reminded me of that because it kind of captured that whole era of those kung fu war movies that were based around chi and stuff like that. I did love that, but the acting did fall flat for me at times, and the story in itself, it didn't feel earned. I don't feel like what happens felt earned as much as it should have.
Okay.
And I'm very disappointed by her quote unquote villain.
Okay. Nick, final thoughts, rating?
Yeah, agreeing with both of you guys that the biggest disappointment with this movie is that it isn't better. This is the first remake that is doing something different from the original animated movie, but they're doing so many callbacks to that animation that you can't focus on what they're doing now. And a couple things I liked. I think the cinematography is great. I love the look of this movie. Yeah. The action, I think, is shot and choreographed really well. It reminded me a lot of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes.
But it's the biggest crime is that you bring in legends like Donny Yen and Jet Li, and you do nothing with them.
Yeah.
It's like they're barely on screen, and they have nothing to do. It's very lip service. And going back to the villain, that it's cool that they're taking a different villain than this one. They're making her more or less a mirror of Mulan herself, but she is very weakly developed, and the powers that she has in this, it's more or less what the script says she needs her powers to be at the moment, instead of establishing what she can do from the start.
So, rating?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this movie, it's it's fine. There's nothing that made me angry about this, but I think it's shot really well, but it's ultimately completely hollow. It's like the acting is not that great. The comedy beats fall flat for me completely. But at least the action in this is kind of cool. And they're a big budget, $100 million Hollywood movie with Asian leads, which I'm half Filipino, half Asian, so that's cool for me to see. But there's nothing about this that is worth the $30 that Disney Plus is asking you to pay for it.
Yeah.
But so I have to give this 6.5. 6.5 swords out of 10.
So my overall thoughts, my final thoughts here. I thought a lot of it was just flat. Like I said, I think the comedy beats, like you said, I think fall flat. I think the acting, except for most of the legendary people like Donny Yen, like Jet Li, like the actor who played her father, who's a legendary actor. I've seen him always in tons of stuff. I thought everyone except for them really didn't really do all that good of a job. I think, one thing saying this trailer was like, okay, well, hey, from the trailer, these battle scenes, they look pretty good and maybe they'll be interesting if nothing else. Didn't think they were that interesting. Clearly, a lot of times you could tell green screen, when she's running, like when she's on top of the horse, like when she's on the battlefield, like you can tell a lot of green screen scenes. And he says it's very, much like the director watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon like 20 times, but and just tried to copy it. It's just like, okay, well, we're just gonna try to just take that, crib it, and completely try to put it in this movie, and it doesn't work. And then they do these kind of weird kind of things with the camera where she's kind of doing her movements of when she's jumping or flipping or something like that, and it kind of like zooms in
and it's like the camera spins with her.
Yeah, and it kind of like zooms in and kind of blurs out kind of all the background footage, and it just kind of just mainly just kind of sees her, doing things. Don't think that looks as good as maybe they thought it did. And weak villain. You could have really did something really good with the witch character. You didn't. She was also very weak. And there's really no life to this movie. There's nothing about it that I don't think that warrants it really seeing per se, especially paying $30 for it, especially if you already have a Disney Plus subscription, you can just wait till December to see it for free, basically. So I don't even know why they put that out there, because why would you even pay to see it if you have Disney Plus when you can just simply wait a few more months, and you'll just be able to see it for free in December. So given all that, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. And like I said, I just don't think. I mean, some of the colors look nice. I mean, some of the seeing the armor, the suits, the outfits, a lot of the costume design of it, I thought looked really good. I thought there was some scenes, like hand-to-hand scenes, where they was just like doing basic hand-to-hand stuff that looked all right, that looked pretty good. But besides that, I think overall, it just, the whole movie just kind of fell flat to me. So going into spoilers, what did you want to specifically discuss with spoilers there?
Oh, yes. So the very end, where it's after Mulan saves the Emperor and she's being presented, the woman who is presenting her to Jet Li is Ming-Na Wen, who was the voice of Mulan from the original movie.
Yeah.
And that just pulled me out of it. You're trying to do something different from the animation, yet you keep reminding me of the animation.
I feel like...
You keep reminding me of a much better movie.
I feel like if that was the only callback, and the movie was obviously much better, that would have hit a lot different.
Yes.
But, yeah. I actually didn't notice that was her, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, she's...
Yeah, when I first saw it, I had to pause it for a second. Wait, is that? Oh, fuck you, Disney.
Because they have to shoehorn as many callbacks as they can. My biggest issue with the whole thing, with the what they do with like some of the mystical elements is like the phoenix. Like I like the phoenix for symbol, for the symbol of it, right? But that easily could have been Mushu. Like that easily could have been like just, you know, a dragon Mushu just flying over. You know, because during interviews and stuff, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna take a more realistic approach to it. We're gonna take a more traditional, culturally traditional approach to the film." But you know, they still had the mystical elements in it that Mushu could have been in there. You know. But what do you think, Nick?
I don't have as much a problem with them not including Mushu, because that is very much a Disney-fied version of the original Hua Mulan poem.
Okay.
And a couple things from that poem, that this was originally supposed to be closer to that. In the poem, she has her parents' blessing before going to war.
Okay.
And the character of the witch, they're on the same side in the original poem. And she's another female warrior, and it's like really cool to see. But I get it, they have the original animation to go off of, so they can't really do anything too different, because that nostalgia makes money.
To go back to the witch, within the logic of the movie in itself, where you have dudes catching arrows, how pissed were you when you saw her die like that?
I was furious. I get you're trying to redeem this character, but she's not developed enough to make me care about her sacrifice.
Yeah, and it wasn't really a much needed sacrifice.
Especially when she's like using her powers to throw dudes around the entire movie. Why didn't she just do that?
And the dude that she's supposed to be stronger than catches arrows like it's nothing, like on the regular. So it's like, all right, you're asking me to suspend my disbelief, to believe that she got shot by an arrow and died. Okay, all right.
Also, there's a moment like after Mulan is revealed to Commander Tung, Donny Yen's character, and the witch goes again to confront her, and it's like, see, I was right. And then she says, all right, screw you, I'm going back to defend the Emperor. Why didn't the witch just kill her then?
Yeah.
That made no sense to me.
And also, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm just going along with like what she does afterwards, where she's talking to the commander and everything, and then she's just like, explain like the plans and stuff. Like, why would they believe her? She gave them no reason to really like earn their trust.
Well, she did save their lives. She did save their lives.
But they didn't see that. All they saw was that there was an avalanche. They didn't see her actually fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she had saved Donnie Yen's life, like, in a fight, I would have been like, all right, yeah, makes sense.
Well, she's...
all you needed to do to fix that was just, like, one quick shot of her love interest in the movie, which is seeing her in the battle, or Donnie Yen catching a quick glance of her fighting. That's all you needed to do to fix that problem.
Yeah. So it just kind of felt unearned that they just blindly trusted this random ass girl that was just like, hey, I fight. You know?
Yeah. I mean...
Like, if they had seen her cause the avalanche, then yes, but they were too busy fighting for their lives against bats.
Well, she saved her love interest from the avalanche, though.
The guy that she was like the closest with during the whole training.
Yeah, she.
But I still don't think a commander
Which
I mean, Nick, you have actual military experience. Would your commander trust some random grunt to be like, all right,
speaking as somebody who's been in the military, fuck no.
You just knew this chick for like a month or two. You got basic training done, and now she's leading you.
Didn't even finish basic, by the way. And did one battle with her,
Yeah.
kicked her out at a disgrace, and now, okay, we're cool again.
Yeah, it just felt so unearned. That's my biggest problem with this movie. Everything in the second half of it just feels so unearned. And like, I like what she did with the avalanche. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that she picked up the helmets and she starts shooting from afar, and then she had the helmets there to kind of be the decoy. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how avalanches work though, but I'm cool with it because it like kind of showed off how smart she can be, you know?
Yeah. One thing I did really like about it, I forgot to mention, was I like they do show people getting shot with the arrows and dying, which I didn't expect to see in a Disney movie.
Yeah, this is PG-13. This is the first of these live-action remakes to get that rating.
Yeah, you see people get shot with arrows and they fall down and they get hit, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty good. You know, good on you for showing that and doing that. I was like, you know, didn't really expect all that much. So that was gonna.
Yeah, if you have no name, you're dead.
You know, all the random people. It's like you get shot with an arrow, boom, you fall down. Yep, you gone. You know, all the random people. So that was pretty nice. I thought that was pretty nice of them to do. It being PG-13, other than just them doing that, because the battle scenes are not like that intense. It's not like, you know.
It's not like Battle of
you know,
the
like
Bastards.
that's what I was thinking. It's not like that. It's nothing like that. You know, which I'm saying I didn't want it to be, because obviously it's a Disney movie. I'm not saying I wanted it to be that, but you want some good battle scenes. You could have did some fun, really good battle scenes and everything. And also like the goofy characters, you know, who you saw, the Three Stooges people, like all of a sudden he was able to shoot 3 arrows from behind his back. Like, well, how the hell? I was
sick.
like, what the hell did he come up with that? When the hell did he do that?
That was sick, but it's another moment that I think it is just not earned.
Yeah.
And I think this movie is too short, despite it being almost 2 hours long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, that just came out of nowhere. Yeah. If you always want to check us out, we are on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, you know, all that stuff. You can always check us out. To all you wonderful people out there listening to this, hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to always stay tuned.